Hey guys, welcome back to the Hat House. I'm Steven.
I'm Mary.
It's been a while since we've been with you guys, but it's good to see you again. We are actually out in the shed right now. We got a lot of hats to put away. We did quite a bit of listing this weekend. Had an awesome Whatnot show as well. Whatnot went really good. And I've been thinking of another Whatnot kind of show idea. I kind of want to know what you guys think out there. Is this crazy? I'm thinking about trying to do one from the shed. And y'all have seen like all of these boxes. They're like numbered. They're like H. How many do we have total?
Like 270 or something like that.
270 hat boxes out here. So I'm thinking like a crazy show would be to like say pick a number between 1 and 270, and then I'll just go and I'll pick that one out, and then we'll just auction off that whole box. They might get really lucky, they might not get lucky. You never know what's kind of in a box. Like so you pick out this box right here, and there's a cool North Carolina hat in here. There's a Tulsa hat in here. There's a Toronto Maple Leafs hat in here. A pretty cool Union lineman hat in here. You just don't know what you're gonna get. I mean, you could also stumble upon a $100, $200 hat if you pick the right box. So thought that might be kind of a cool thing. We're gonna get to putting away the rest of these orders. We're gonna get them put up here in the shed. We got about 70 orders to pick for eBay. I've also done some crazy things on eBay. I completely turned off the sales on eBay, doing a little bit of test. Mary is a little bit
anxious.
Anxious is the word. Sales have been down a little bit, but the sales price is up a little bit on some of the basic hats. But the Whatnot was really fun this weekend. We did a lot of sales there, and hoping to put together another one of those soon. But next time we'll see you, we'll get to some sales that we had and talk a little bit more about Whatnot and what we might be doing going forward. Okay, we made it back. We got everything picked out, and here is, it's kind of crazy. eBay, like I said, was a little slower for us, but this is the eBay orders that we had. We're definitely going to go over what has sold on eBay. We'll definitely go through some of the good sales there. But how many orders was that?
75, I think.
Like around 70, 75 orders on eBay. Mostly hats. So 65, 70 hats we sold on eBay. We usually do around 100. So it is a little bit lighter weekend for us. But check out Whatnot. We got 3 boxes on Whatnot as well. So this was really cool. And we sold about 60 hats is what I usually do in a Whatnot auction. So I kind of go against the grain a lot of times. A lot of people go on Whatnot. They try to sell kind of just the odds and ends, the things that don't have really good selling price. And I just usually go opposite, selling really good hats. There were some really great hats in the Whatnot sales. Let me show you a couple of them. A Boston Bruins Sports Specialties wool script. Sold that on Whatnot. I know y'all think that I'm crazy. I have a pretty good room. I have some good customers. They still get great deals, but the box has a lot of great hats in it, and I just do a little bit different on Whatnot, and I kind of like doing it that way. But I also, a lot of you have asked me about my shapers. So I started selling them on Whatnot. I also have them on eBay. The only difference in the different selling platforms is the price. So on eBay, what we have them for?
25 and 29, I think.
Yeah, 29 for the big one on eBay, 25 for the small one. I'm going to change the price on Whatnot probably to, what did I say?
22 and 27, I think.
22 and 27. So 27 for the big one on Whatnot, 22 for the small one. And then if you want to get with me on Instagram, I can do a better deal and kind of want to do it that way. If I can avoid the fees and you want to work it out with me on PayPal or Instagram, then we can work it out, and we can do 25 for a big one and 20 for a small one. Will you grab a trucker hat so we can kind of look at this? Not everybody has seen kind of the hat shaper either. The big one's really good for trucker hats, kind of the older trucker hats. It can shape them up really nicely. The smaller one is better for like sports hats. Let me grab a couple and I'll kind of show you the basics on the hat shaper. Okay, there's the two sizes. I want to go through them real quick. There's the small size. It kind of does better for like sports hats and just kind of 90s hats. And it will fit about anything. You can use them on the big truckers, but this is the small size. This is the large size. I really use it for the truckers. And just let me kind of show you real quick the difference between them. Like this is an older sports hat right here. Just a regular snapback wool sports hat. I like to use the small one on it. It gives it a really good shape. A lot of times I'll take a clip and kind of clip these down right here while it's shaping. But here's kind of the shape that it gives. It really works out well for like the sports hats and kind of a universal fit for that one. But then the big one, I like to use it, like I said, and this one seems to be selling the best. I like to use it for the trucker hats. If you got like an old trucker hat like this, you can get the shape back into it pretty easily, and it makes it look really good. You can spray some starch on it, but check out that. Some people use them for taking pictures too. I guess I usually undo the snaps in the back. Usually helps it fit on better. Gives it a really good shape. So really like that for the trucker hats. That's the large one. Then have the small one. It's had a lot of questions about the shapers since I kind of been away for a minute. Just want to let you know where you can get them. eBay, whatnot, or send me a message on Instagram and we can work it out there. The prices on eBay and whatnot are not best offer. They do cost a lot and put a lot into getting the machine to actually make them. So kind of got to keep the price the same. But if you want a better deal, just send me a message. Let's get to what's sold on eBay. We got a lot of whatnot to package up too. So let's get over there. Okay, we're getting ready to package up whatnot, and Mary does an awesome job. I stand in front of the camera, talk about everything, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes on whatnot as well. She has to start all those auctions and then numbers them all. We just number them.
Yeah, we used to do it differently. The easiest way I have found though is I start with empty boxes, and then as they sell, because we sell them in number order, I just put them in the box as they sell, and so they're just numbered 19, 20, and it makes it a lot easier to find them when we go to ship.
Yeah, because now we'll just bring up one order, and then we'll say hat 19, 20, 40, 60, 80, whatever number hat, and then we're able to just kind of sort out the hats that way and then box them up. Luckily, we had one of our best customers and whatnot.
Yes, definitely.
So really appreciate him. He knows who he is. I won't shout him out here. I don't ever like to give people's personal information out, but we had a really good customer and whatnot, and we appreciate everybody. The room was packed, having fun. Really appreciate you guys. And it always seems somebody comes along and makes it a good show. So I really like interacting with you guys on whatnot as well. And so we're going to get it packaged up. I did want to show you a couple of cool hats that went out, though. Check out this Chevelle hat. This was a really cool hat. Like a Mariners painter hat was really cool. And I tell you guys to look for the Patagonias that are cool and different. The Eat Local always does really well. So that was a great hat. And like I said, I've been putting the good hats there. I don't try to put the hats that I wouldn't buy myself. If I would buy it, that's kind of the stuff I've been putting on whatnot. So this Orlando Magic, it is kind of faded, but still, it's really hard to get a hold of Orlando Magic 90s stuff. That was a really cool hat. Just some basic fishing hats. Sims is a great brand. Cool LA Dodgers all over. We're going to talk about what's hot right now. What is hot, Mary?
Definitely the Yankees and the Dodgers, because they're going to the World Series.
Yeah.
We also have a lot of winter hats going out today. They've been selling really well.
And camo.
Yes, definitely camo.
And the camo hats. So Yankees, a cool sports specialties. Yankees going out. And then the camo and winter hats are starting to pick up. Camo is doing really well. So some really great hats on Whatnot. We're going to get those packaged up. Then we'll get over to eBay and talk about what sold. Okay, let's get to what sold on eBay. Got the Whatnot packaged up. Do not judge me on the big box. I promise it's sturdy. It will make it just fine. A little bit of cut tape job, but Whatnot's pretty easy to ship out for sure. If y'all want me to talk a little bit more in depth on Whatnot shipping in a later video, let me know. I'll be happy to go over the way that we do it. Makes it pretty quick. Definitely helps having Mary help out, but it's pretty quick and easy. Let me get this cleared off, and then we'll get to what's sold on eBay. All right, next up, I told you the camo was doing well. This one was pretty cool. It had like these little oil rigs all over it. Went for $15 on its own, and then I sold the last 4 vintage camo blanks. Sold them. This one went out for like $50 for these 4, so they got a really good deal. I got these at an estate sale. I sold them off pretty quick. Probably could have got a little bit more on them, but I like to get in and out of stuff, and they made me a good deal. I made them a good bundle deal for all 4 of them on eBay. Sent me the offer, and I took it. All right, next up, combined orders. We're going to go over the combined orders real quick. We had a New Era, just kind of a basic logo hat on the New Era. Strap back, $21 for this and the Callaway hat. The Callaway hat was pretty cool. It was on the New Era tag. Nice little Callaway, older Callaway joint right here. So $21 for these 2. It's a great deal. And another $20 for a GSU Eagles. I think they're in Alabama. Does it say, Mary, where the GSU Eagles are from? Georgia. Georgia Southern. Duh. Maybe that's why the G is on there. So Georgia Southern and Atlanta. These went out for $20 as well. Pretty good deal. Combined order. Next up, another good combined order. We had a PGA Tour hat. We had a Boston Red Sox. This was on the American Needle. We had a OU hat right here. And then another golf hat right here. US Open Chamber Bay. $40, $41 for 4 hats. Love the combined orders. They save money, and I save money, and we all win. Another combined order, $23 on, this was like a Robin Ruth that had a cool little American flag on it. And then I had another American flag hat. This was just kind of, it was a Pugs. It was kind of the camo American flag. So good deal on that too, $20. All right, $24 on these 2. 76 gas station, and then an Eddie Bauer dad hat. Eddie Bauer stuff does pretty good, actually. Older stuff does really great. This is just a regular dad hat. Nice little gas station hat right here. Vintage, $22 for 2 hats. And $24 on this one. Patagonia was really good. Really great condition. That's what it's all about on these basic Patagonia hats. And then a basic Nike Featherlight visor. $24 for those 2. Next up, $27. They got a Dodgers and a Yankees. Can you be for both? I don't know. Maybe it's like one of those house divided things. But Dodgers and Yankees World Series. If you got the Dodgers and Yankees stuff sitting around, it is time to get it listed. Don't let it sit around any longer. It'll sell. $27 for 2 dad hats. All right, next up, not all music rap hats are created equally. Some of them go for big money. This one was just $12 for Biggie Smalls. It's just kind of a basic hat with this patch on it. So only $12 on that one. They'll still sell, just not that good of money if they're not on a really good hat. Next up, this one went for $19, $19.95. Kansas State on the starter. It was a really cool little older hat. Nice starter strap back. $19. Happy with that. Kansas State's doing pretty good too. Next up, this one sold super fast. I think I might have unpriced it just a tad, but they got a good deal. The black on black always does really well. Yankees is hot, of course. A 940 in great condition. If it was snapback, probably get closer to the 25 to range, but this one was the strap back. Really nice Yankees hat right here. Went out for $17. Next up, nice little, the Colorado hats usually do okay. This one went for like $15. Nice little Legacy Aspen with the patch on the front. The ski stuff is getting ready to take off a little bit better too. So really like picking up the Colorado ski resort stuff. All right, next up is why you watch the videos. I didn't know about this brand until I looked it up yesterday. This one went for $25. It may just look like a basic hat, but this was K-Juice. K-Juice, a decent brand right here. Brand new, they go for like $39, $45, but wasn't very many of them on eBay. So I asked like 30 and took 25. Really cool hat. Next up, really cool Masters hat. Went for $29. A little bit different than the other Masters. This one had 1934 American Needle. Wasn't vintage, but really different Masters. So around 30 bucks for that. Pretty good deal. The basic Masters ones are really sticking in the $15 range, but this one was different, so I priced it up. Another theme right here, if you're watching, pay attention. Park City, Utah ski with the patch, snapback, $19. Not amazing, but they are selling. Next up was this American Needle. Really cool kind of 5-panel winter Sherpa line. Went for $17. It was missing the size on it. I probably would have asked a little bit more for it. Nice lined hat. These winter hats, I usually try to stick between 20 and 30 if they're decent brands and they're really well made. This is American Needle, so really nice hat. Next up, South Carolina Gamecocks. I don't know. I didn't wear my OU hat today. Not that I'm ashamed, but maybe a little shame. But we can't score. We fired our offensive coordinator. We got beat by South Carolina. It's the first time in history we'd ever played them. OU is the winningest football program in history, and now we have the worst offense of any team in college. I don't know exactly how that all happens, but it did, and I sold a Gamecocks hat, so I'm kind of happy. Next up, this Cal Bears flat cap only went for $10. This stuff is really hit and miss. I had this one for probably 2 years maybe, so I finally sold it. I think it's because it was a little bit smaller size, but I had this one forever. Sometimes these really hit, but this one did not. $10, 2 years. I didn't make much on that. Next up, sometimes you just have somebody's size. This one went for $25. Really good, bigger size, 7 3/4. NFL fitted. Not always easy to find either. So nice little Kansas City Chiefs, $25, new era fitted. Next up was this Jordan hat. It only went for $16, but it had this little spot on the top of it. It wasn't in the best condition, but $16 Jordan hat. Still kind of happy with that. Next up, this one was awesome. I sold a painter hat on Whatnot too last night. I think it went for like $15, but this one went for $30. It was a snapback. Those are a little harder to find. A lot of times you get the stretch back ones. Seattle Mariners in great condition. Painter hat, $30. Next up, this is a really cool REI. I let it go for $15, but it was a corduroy. REI, up and down on the price on REI stuff. If you get something really cool like this, it can be pretty good. Let this one go. Had it for a while, probably all summer. $15 corduroy, kind of a trapper with the ear flaps. Next up, this Magellan fedora style outdoor, kind of almost Indiana Jones type of hat. And we've sold some pretty cool hats like this over the past couple of weeks. Really think about Halloween. Halloween is not far off. So somebody might be using this for their Indiana Jones or some sort of costume like that. We sold a cool naval hat the other day. That's probably going to be a Halloween costume as well. So just think about these hats. A lot of hats sell for costumes during this time as well, especially if you have kind of the fashion hats or cool ones that look like Indiana Jones. But this is Magellan, so not the greatest brand, but $25. All right, next up, Yale Bulldogs, $9.99. I still listed it because I know Yale sells, but you can see it's discolored. So even if you have this is just a basic dad hat. If you know that it's a really good style or brand, it might still be worth it. So this one sold pretty quick, even though it was a little discolored. Next up was a nice little Sitco hat. Went for $19. Regular snapback, a little bit older on the kudzu tag, youngin snap. Nice embroidery, $19. Really cool little Sitco hat right here. Next up, nice two old stock DeWalt with kind of the shark. Some people call it shark. It's not really a shark tooth. It's not a shark tooth. I call it, what did I put in? A zigzag?
You just put zagged edge.
Yeah, some people call it jagged edge. Some people call it zigzag. So I put zag and edge, hoping to catch that. But $25 on the DeWalt Racing, old stock snapback. Next up, I find these all the time with either just the inner fleece part or just the shell of the hat, and they hardly ever sell. But I had both of them this time, so it went for $22 on this vintage Columbia ski hat. I always put ski, always put winter. Usually put snow in the titles of these nice kind of ski hats. And happy to get 22 for this one. I hardly ever find all the pieces, so they got a cool hat. And another cool winter hat right here. Nice little Columbia. Went for $25 with the trapper ear flaps. These hats are really cool because you can just put these in your pocket, but they are really warm. And this was it was vintage and it was a little bit bigger size, but nice little winter hat right here. Next one, had this one a while. This one only went for $13. Wasn't the greatest condition, but was really cool, kind of digital camo. Dakota Dan. Just want to show you this one too, because the winter stuff is starting to pick up finally, even though it's 75 and sunny in Oklahoma here today. Next up, really cool Los Angeles Rams. And the crazy thing about running sales, take them off sale. Sometimes you just got to wait for the buyer. I think I had this one marked down to $15 at one time. But I knew that was cooler than that because this is a really cool Rams kind of camo blue. Went for $25. It got marked back up and took $25 for this one. Awesome condition. Beautiful Rams hat. And another nice Colorado Rockies. This one was a little bit older version, 7 and 8. $25 on this one. Really good selling price for, and it's still pretty crispy though. Really nice. I've been putting a lot of work into some of the new era hats. Getting them back into shape better with my shaper, and then getting a little starch on them, making them, just bringing them back to life as best I can, and it helps in the sales price too. I don't know that I'll do that for every single one, but there are some hats I put a little bit more time into. Next up, Hui hat. This one was really cool, red, white, and blue. Went for $15. Pretty good condition. Nice little red. This one is actually Texas, I think. You got to look at these sometimes. This Texas flag will be in here. And if you put the keyword Texas in there, they usually sell a little bit faster. Next up, kind of just a basic brand, $12, but just making the point, the winter style hats are selling. This is a nice thick wool. The brand was Peak Olive. I don't really know the brand, but really nice little green. Green is a hot color, and it's a winter nice wool hat, so $12. And Maryland won this week. At least we can share in the misery, USC. Got beat by Maryland for Lincoln Riley. Glad to sell them a Maryland Terrapin hat, and go Terps. All right, guys, we got everything boxed up. That's going to do it for this time. Really appreciate you hanging out. We're definitely going to try to do more videos, right, Mary?
Yes, definitely.
So we're going to try to get back on the video swing of things. Things are calmed down here a little bit. We got one more band competition to go to. And once that's out of the way, we should free up our time a little bit more. Hopefully do a whatnot again real soon. And then I'll put it down below if you want to check out the hat shapers on eBay, whatnot, or message me on Instagram. I'll put the links down there for that. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Hope you learned something today in the hat world.